Hi everybody, welcome to Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, and this is my multiplayer beginner's guide tutorial on how to get started in this amazing game. Now this video is for people who are new to Call of Duty, or perhaps you're returning to Call of Duty after a long absence, maybe because you've seen the Black Ops moniker and thinking, yeah, I remember Black Ops Call of Duty, I want to get back into this. Now, this is the video for you. Now, my credentials, we should probably go through them, shouldn't we? So, I am an older gamer. I am pushing 50. I do not have the Twitch responses of the younger gamers, so I have to think about things a little bit more carefully. I didn't start playing Call of Duty until Advanced Warfare, when my son very kindly gave me his Xbox 360, and I probably spent 6 months playing against bots before I even ventured into an online multiplayer game. However, several years later, I'm on the PlayStation 4 playing this, although I will try and refer to the Xbox when I talk about controls as well. And this is my, so you can see my win-loss ratio, 1.64, that's alright, isn't it? You can see my eliminations death ratio, or KD ratio, is 1.38, which again is positive. It's not amazing, but it's alright. But if we go into Domination, which is the game mode that I'm really going to be talking about a lot in this tutorial, you can see that my win-loss ratio is 1.93, with 83 wins, 43 losses, and my KD ratio, or eliminations per death ratio, is 1.44. So I kind of do all right for an old geezer, and I think I can probably, help give you some of the ideas that help me really enjoy this game as well, because it is a fantastic Call of Duty. Now we're going to be covering a lot of ground. You've probably seen that this is a long video. So let's get started straight away. And what we want to do straight away is we're going to go into the settings. So you press the options buttons on your PlayStation or your Xbox. And we're just going to go down, and we're going to start off, and we're going to talk about sensitivity. Now this is a very sensitive subject, sorry about that, and people tend to think you have to have a high sensitivity to be good at Call of Duty or first person or third person shooters in general, and the truth is you don't. When you're a bit rusty or a bit slow, or like me, you just don't have fast twitch responses, having a low sensitivity helps an awful lot. So mine is at 4. Yours may well be better down at 3. But don't zoom it up to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Stay low. There's nothing wrong with turning slowly and being able to accurately get onto target, because it's not about how fast you can spin around, it's how accurately you can get your bullets onto target. So start off with a low sensitivity, and don't worry about leaving it there as well for as long as you need to. I mean, I've probably been at 4 for ages. I may well get better. Now once you've chosen a sensitivity, stick with it for at least a week. Don't chase your sensitivity by putting it higher or lower, and then playing a game and thinking, well, that wasn't right, and changing it again, because you'll never get used to it. Your thumbs will never get used to it. Generally, as you're playing, if you find that as you're trying to get on target, your aim down sight before you get and start shooting, before you're actually on the target, your sensitivity might be a little bit low, and you might want to knock it up 1. If you find your crosshairs go past the target and you start firing, your sensitivity is probably a little bit too high, because you're overcompensating and you need to come back onto them. But stay low. So what other settings do we have? ADS stick sensitivity 1, stick sensitivity high zoom 1, button layout I use default. I don't flip anything. Now, I am the type of person who inverts vertical look. Whether you do or not, that's totally up to you. Aim response curve type, I have standard. Controller vibration, turn it off. You don't need it. Aim down sight, aim assist, of course, on. And slow down and strafing, aim assist enabled. I think aim down sight, aim assist is only on in the campaign anyway. Airborne mantle behaviour automatic, aim down sight behaviour hold, so this means you hold the left trigger to aim down sight. Steady aim behaviour hold, so this is where you click in your left stick to hold your breath with a sniper rifle. Armour behaviour apply all, so that if you're playing a game mode with armour, it'll put them all in. Attack vehicle control mode aim base, there is an option to change it, you try it out, whatever you want to do. Now you can play around with your minimum and maximum thresholds. I have mine set at 10, which I think is the default. Now If you set this a little bit lower, say to like 5 or something like that, it will mean that you can do finer adjustments with your sticks. However, the sticks on consoles, whether it be PlayStation or Xbox, they have a tendency to drift. So this means you can never really get them in the center, and your character will start to move around if you have it set to 1 or 0. 10 works for me. Maximum 99, that's cool. Controller sounds disabled, I wear a headset. Auto move forward disabled, auto sprint disabled, sprint behavior toggled, so I have to click into sprint. Sprint cancel reloads disabled, parachute auto deploy enabled. Equipment behavior hold, so I have to hold it to use something, and interact is prioritize reload. Now you might want to play around with this one, but what this means is if you're standing there and you want to pick a gun up or something, pick a gun up, if you tap on the square on PlayStation or X and Xbox, your character will first reload your weapon if they need to, then it will pick the gun up. Really this comes from Warzone and having to loot a lot, where if you don't use this option you have to hold square or hold X to open up loot boxes, and it slows you down, whereas tap, I would say, but try priorities reload. The problem with prioritize reload is that sometimes you can pick up enemy guns by mistake. Graphics, let's just go down to here. Field of view I have set to 90. The higher you have this value, the more of the sides you have, so the bigger peripheral vision you have. The catch is that it puts more performance load on your console. So I've only got a standard PlayStation 4, so I stick to 90. See what works for you. Again, whatever you choose, stick with it for at least a week, because it takes you a while to get used to the difference. ADS field of view, effective motion blur disabled. Again, we don't really need that. Audio, master volume 100, music volume lower, sound effects 100, dialogue volume lower, cinematics lower. So the idea is that things like talking in the game, like enemy has captured B and all this sort of stuff, is a little bit quieter, so you can hear people's footsteps. You could have these options lower as well if you wanted to. Audio preset headphones. So one of the most important things in Call of Duty and any shooter is the hardware that you use. You've obviously got your television in front of you, and with the television you want to have that probably fairly bright so that you can see in the shadow areas, but you want to be wearing headphones. If you're playing Call of Duty through the speakers on your television, you are putting yourself at a massive disadvantage, because listening for footsteps is so important. And in Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, footsteps are incredibly easy to hear, and they tell you where the enemies are, and they are the difference between killing someone or being killed. And the more you play the game, the more you get used to how the sound of footsteps relates to the distance that people are away from you and above and below, and as you get to know the maps, where people are coming from makes a massive difference. Voice chat disabled, I just have that so when I'm recording videos, and there we go. Interface, subtitles disabled, crosshairs shown, hit markers shown, damage base hit markers shown. This is all normal stuff, and then we don't use keyboard and mouse. I'm using a controller. So there we go. So they're the settings. While we're on the subject of settings, though, let's talk about internet connection. Let's talk about your network connection where you're playing the game. If at all possible, the best way to do this is to have a wired LAN cable going from your router to your PlayStation or your Xbox. That's the best option. Wireless is not good. If you can't do that because you can't run a cable from your router to your console, then use power line adapters. So they're the power line adapters where you plug them into your power outlet near your router, plug another one into the power outlet near your console, and then the internet, the network, go through your power line. Now that's not ideal, but it's better than wireless. Finally, obviously, if you've got to go with wireless, go with wireless. Now, before we even think about getting into playing the multiplayer, you know where you want to go? You want to go into the campaign. Just play the campaign. enjoy the campaign. It is really good fun, and it will gently introduce you to the concepts of running around in Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, because it feels similar to the multiplayer, and you and set it on easy, and you're playing against easy bots basically, and you get to play with sniper rifles, you get to play with submachine guns, you get to play with shotguns, you get to play with assault rifles and knives, get to do takedowns, all that sort of stuff. It's a fun campaign, it's a good story, and especially if you're returning to Call of Duty, this will ease you in nice and gently, and you'll be ready to play the multiplayer. Now, back to the multiplayer, because that's what this video is about, isn't it? What we're going to be concentrating on is domination. I found that in Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, domination is the most fun and rewarding game mode to play. If you're new to Call of Duty, basically there's lots of different game modes. The most popular game mode is Team Deathmatch. So this is where you've got 6 players on each side, 2 teams, 6 each, and they try and kill each other. And you just score points depending on the kills that you get. So you're running around the map just shooting each other. Hardpoint is where you have these movable hardpoints that you go around, which is a good game mode, don't get me wrong. Kill confirmed is a little bit like Team Deathmatch, but when you kill someone they drop a dog tag and you've got to pick it up to get the points. VIP escort is you have to escort this person. Control is like a combination of the two. Free for all is good fun, it's all against all, very good for practice, and you'll see we'll be doing a bit of practice in free for all later. Search and destroy, we're talking a real tactical game mode that I won't cover in this video here. Domination, however, is what we call an objective game mode. So in Domination, it's 6 versus 6 still, but you've got 3 flags to capture, A, B and C. And your home flag will either be the A or the C flag, and then the B is the neutral one in the middle. And so it's all about capturing those flags by staying near them till you've captured them. Then you can move away, and you score points all the time you've got captured flags. And it's the first team up to 200. Now this is really good because it forces players to move around. They have, if they want to win, a team wants to win, they have to push up and they have to capture flags. They can't just sit in a corner and shoot you from the shadows. Now I'm not saying that doesn't happen, but it happens a lot in Team Deathmatch and in free-for-all. Where in Domination generally you get people who, what we call, they play the objective. So they're coming out of cover, they're trying to capture or they're trying to defend, and you can have some really good fun gunfights, some very exciting games, and there's lots of dynamic tactical movement from people, where you can think about flanks, you can think about where people are coming from, and it's very, very good indeed. So Domination is what we're going to be concentrating on. However, we're still not going into yet, because next we're going to be talking about loadouts. So in Call of Duty there's lots of guns, and guns are really fun. And remember that at the time I'm recording this video, which is in November 2020, there's going to be less guns that are in it than are in Call of Duty Black Ops when you're watching it now, because they introduce guns all of the time. And what happens with the guns is that as you play the game and your character progresses, so as you play the game and you capture objectives or you kill people and you do stuff, your character's level goes up. Let's go back and let's have a look at my progression. So my progression is I'm up to Prestige 1 level 35. So as I'm playing the game and I'm killing people, I gradually score points, and what happens then is I unlock guns. As you use a gun, you unlock the attachments for the gun. So when you first start off, for example, with the XM4, which we've got here, it starts off like that. So it hasn't got, it's got iron sights, it hasn't got a big magazine, it's got a normal barrel, a normal stock. As you play with the XM4 and kill people with it, you can attach more bits to it, and it gets better. This is always the weird thing about Call of Duty. The beginners, the people who are starting off, have the worst guns, and the people who are playing a long time and who have unlocked all the attachments have the best guns. So we have something called the grind, and the grind is where you're playing Call of Duty to make the guns better, so you get the better attachments, so you can then do better in the game. It doesn't take too long, but in Black Ops it is a bit of a grind. Now, what you're going to be working towards at the moment is this setup. This is a very fun setup. This is the XM4 assault rifle with the Pellington sniper rifle. So let's go through this in a little bit more detail. So the XM4 is unlocked straight away. So what you want to do is when you start playing, you want to use the XM4 and just use it all of the time. Now, as your secondary, you'll want to go with you'll want to go with something like a launcher. Let's go back and let's turn that off. Let's go up here. Here we go. So you want to go something like the Sigma 2 launcher. Now the Sigma 2 launcher enables you to be able to shoot down enemy spy planes and score streaks, and you can fire it into buildings, and it's good, you know, and it's okay. However, your main task is to play with the XM4 and level it up. And then what you do is you go into the gunsmith, and as you're playing with the XM4, you'll start to unlock things. So you start off with the mill stop reflex, which you'll use for a bit, and then when you unlock the Vision Tech 2 times, that's what I want you to put on the gun, and I want you to stick with the Vision Tech 2 times. Don't worry about the muzzle. With the barrel, you'll unlock the Ranger. Use that straight away. Don't use then use the reinforced heavy, and you may want to end up on the 13.7 extended, so that's what you want to work for. The body, put the steady aim laser on it as soon as you unlock it. That basically gives you better hip fire accuracy, so when you're shooting the gun but you're not aimed down sights, you're more likely to hit people, you know, when you're in close quarters, so that's cool. You can stick the foregrip on it, which reduces horizontal recoil, and you work towards the 40 round speed mag. Put the 40 round normal one on and the jungle one, and then when you get to the 40 round speed mag, use that. That basically gives you more bullets so you can miss people and still kill them after a while, and you can change it better, and that is a good weapon to have. Now the XM4, it's not the best gun in the game, but it's a good all-rounder. It's okay close up, it's okay at medium range, and it's okay at long range. It's fully automatic, it's very forgiving, it doesn't have much recoil, and if you just concentrate on that and work towards that loadout, you've got a good general purpose weapon that will see you through many games of Domination and the other combined arms and everything else as well, and it's very cool. Now what you also want to work towards is the Lawbreaker wildcard. Now wildcards are options that the game gives you to kind of change the weapons or perks that you have. Now the first one you'll unlock is Danger Close. Danger Close is cool because it gives you 2 grenades and 2 tacticals, so that's good. But when you get Lawbreaker, so you've played enough to unlock that, you select that, and that then gives you the ability to choose a primary weapon as your secondary weapon as well, so you can have 2 really good guns. And the one you're going to go for is the Pellington sniper rifle. Now the Pellington sniper rifle is a 1-shot kill to the head. So if you hit someone in the head with this gun, it will kill them straight away. And I think it's their upper chest as well. Let me just check that. Let me just see if I've got that right. Pretty sure. Bolt action sniper rifle, 1-shot kill to the head or chest. Excellent. So that's what we want to go with. Now you're not going to be using this gun very often, because these sniper rifles are bolt action, so it's literally you fire it, bang, reload, bang. So you have to be very accurate with them. But, and this is the reason why you want to use a sniper rifle, they are incredibly good fun to use. When you start hitting your headshots in Call of Duty, you will be transformed and you will think, oh my gosh, this is so good. To start off with, you're not going to be getting any kills with your sniper rifle at all, and then maybe you'll get 1 headshot per game. Then you might get 2, you might get 3 occasionally, and that'll be it. Most of the time you're going to be using your XM4, but every now and again you're going to get your sniper rifle out when you're in the right position, you're going to hit a headshot and you're going to be like, wow, this is really cool. So what you're working towards, well, I would put on the stabilizer to reduce weapon sway. I would put on the I would put on the steady aim laser. Now, you're very rarely going to be using your sniper rifle in a hip fire situation, but when you do, sometimes you can kill people straight away with it, which is cool. Let's go down here to the stock. We want the tactical stock for aim walking speed. We want the speed tape is good for the aim down sight time. We don't want the 7-round mag, but we do want the fast loader, and that will do really, to be honest. And I'll tell you what, let's put my favourite camo on, and let's put a sticker on it to show our support for veterans. There we go. So as I say, although we're running a class that is quite an advanced class for a beginner, you might be saying, Rob, I'm new to Call of Duty, what? I can't be running a sniper rifle. Trust me, most of the time you're going to be using this baby, and because it's got the 2x scope on, it's good at close, medium and kind of long range if we tickle that trigger. But the Pellington, your sniper rifle, what's going to be happening is you're going to be running around the map, you're going to be in this situation where there's a long line of sight, and you're going to aim down sight, and you're going to be aiming at somewhere where you know enemies tend to hang around, maybe on a balcony on Miami, or behind a tin, behind a barrel like on Armada, and you'll know that sometimes people are there, and you're going to aim down sight, you're going to see somebody, and you're going to pop their head off, and you're going to be like, wow, that was absolutely fantastic. So they're the guns we're working towards. So what tactical should you use? I would go with a stun grenade, nice and simple, especially for domination. When you're attacking a flag, you throw a stun grenade. Any enemies are disorientated, you can run in, you can finish them. The frag grenade, again, very good for attacking flags, and also at the beginning of the game, throwing it. You see how we do that in a game, it's very cool. Trophy system, very important, this one. The trophy system is a device that intercepts enemy grenades, whether that be frags or anything thrown, or stun grenades or flashbangs, even things like RPG rockets, or even things like cruise missiles. It sits on the ground, it has like a radar, and it scans, and if somebody throws a grenade at you when you're defending a flag, it'll fire at them and destroy it. I think you get 3 or 4 charges in each trophy system. Very, very powerful for objective-based game modes. Now, let's have a look at our perks. Now, the perks we want to be working towards are Flak Jacket for our perk 1. Now, let's take rid of that one. Now, Flak Jacket reduces damage from incoming explosives. So this is very good in domination, because a lot of the time people are throwing grenades at you when you're defending flags. Again, start off with Engineer. In fact, I would probably stay with Engineer until you've unlocked Flak Jacket. Engineer enables you to see enemy equipment, everything from spy planes to mines, so it's a good perk to have. Perk 2, Assassin's a bit confusing. It makes your minimap go a bit odd, but don't worry about that. We're working towards Gearhead. Now, what Gearhead is, it enables us to, you know, those trophy systems we talked about earlier, it enables us to earn them faster, and it also enables us to carry 2 of them at once. So we can have one that we deploy and have a spare, and especially when we're using something like our sentry gun, we can defend it with 2 of these trophy systems. But because the trophy system is so powerful, because the way that people attack flags is by throwing grenades onto the flag that you're trying to defend, and the trophy system is defending you from them, having more of them has got to be a good thing. So go with Gearhead. Now, perk 3, this might be a bit controversial. Cold-blooded. Now, Gung-Ho is good to start off with. This means you can run around with guns up, and Ghost keeps you off the mini-map when spy planes are up. But what Cold-Blooded does is it protects you from enemy AI controlled score streaks. So what happens in Black Ops Cold War, and we're going to look at score streaks in just a second. When you're playing the game and you're earning points, you earn points towards a score streak. In previous Call of Duties, if you died, you lost those points and you had to start again. In Black Ops Cold War, you don't. You keep earning them, which means that you get far more things like spy planes in the air showing you up on the map. You get far more things like chopper gunners and sentry guns around the map. And these AI score streaks like sentry guns or turrets or chopper gunners, attack choppers that are controlled by the computer, they won't see you and you won't get killed with them. So that's what you want to go for, cold-blooded for. Very, very important indeed. Right, so there we go. So what we'll look at next are, I think we'll look at score streaks. Okay, so let's look at score streaks next. These are where things start to get really fun in Call of Duty. So I think in Domination, the score streaks you should be looking to move towards are things like the spy plane, because this not only helps you by showing you where enemies are, but also your teammates. Remember, if somebody's running the ghost perk, however, and they're moving, they won't appear. Then the sentry turret. This is a great area denial score streak. So the idea with this is it's an AI controlled turret that will automatically shoot at not only enemies but things like enemy helicopters when they come in as well, and it will shoot them down. And what you do is you plonk this down, say defending the B flag, throw your trophy system down and it will defend it. And then I think you should probably go with something like the cruise missile, which is a nice fun fast score streak to use that can kill, you know, sort of 2, 3, 4 players, and it's done very, very quickly, and you're pretty much guaranteed a couple of kills with the cruise missile all the time. It's very, very good that way. So what we've done, we've talked about your loadout, we've talked about the guns you should have. What we want to really talk about now is we want to get down and dirty. We want to start practicing moving, we want to start practicing shooting, and we want to practice some simple tactics as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to play against bots, and think of this as a drill. And in fact, if you do a YouTube search for something like speed and accuracy drill from like Exclusive Ace, he will comes up with, and I'll probably do some as well, with really good drills that are specifically designed to make you better at shooting. But when you first start playing Call of Duty, when you're a real beginner, it can be quite a steep learning curve. So there's nothing wrong with playing against bots for a long time. So what we do is we go down to the bottom where it says Custom Games, and what we can do is we can go into Loadout and create a class, and we've got the XM4 already, and what you'll see is all of the attachments are already unlocked. So we can go in and we can add all the bits that we want to add. So let's go a bit, put all these on. There's the magazine, 40 round speed mag. Let's change the wildcard to Lawbreaker, so then we can have the Pellington. Let's add the stabilizer, steady aim laser. We don't want the grip. We want the fast loader, the speed tape, and the tactical stock. Is that how we had to set up? And then we want the stone grenade, the frag, and we want the field mic, and then we want flak jacket, gearhead, cold-blooded, score streaks, we want spy plane, turret, and cruise missile. So let's get rid of that. Right, so now what we can do is if we go to versus bots, and we can do change map, so we'll play on checkmate is a good one, and the bot difficulty we'll set to recruit, make sure they're easy, and let's dive in. And what I'm going to start off with, we're going to talk about movement around the map, so how you can move safely around a Call of Duty map. Then we're going to talk about some nice simple domination tactics that you can use, and while we're doing this we're going to be talking about shooting bots as well. You should run this drill a couple of times before you start playing against multiplayer, and this will start to get you more muscle memory, more twitch memory in your fingers for killing people. So here we go. So let's dive in. And our friendly bots, they'll go off and they'll start doing stuff for us.
Domination.
So if we look at the map, there we go. Go for it, lads. So, let's talk about moving around the map to start off with. What should we do? So as you move forward, we've got a choice here. We can go right or we can go left. Now, if you go round things to the right, like this, you'll always expose less of your body. Now, imagine you're right-handed and you're holding a rifle and you're aiming down sight like this. You'll only really be poking out your right shoulder and the gun and your right hand and a little bit of your head. Whereas if you're going this way, you'll be showing a whole lot of your body, wouldn't you? With most of the left-hand side of your body and your legs and your left arm. So it's always safer to peek this way and to go round the right side. Now just remember though, the enemies might be thinking that as well, so they might be coming towards the left hand side as you're standing there. Also, on all Call of Duty maps, especially Triac ones, there's always lumps of cover like this. So left stick and push forward, you'll sprint. If you press circle on PlayStation or B on Xbox, you'll crouch. If you hold it, you'll lie on the ground. You can jump. If you're sprinting and you crouch, you'll do a cool slide. And that's about it really. Change weapon, circle, reload, square on PlayStation, X on Xbox. So as we're moving around the map, we kind of want to be moving around the flanks. So that's the sides, like this, and just moving from cover to cover. Now, if we climb up here and jump over here, so we'd be moving from cover to cover to cover to cover to cover. Now all the time we should be looking up every now and again at the mini-map in the top left hand side of the screen. We can see all of our friendlies, and if there's an enemy there that's fired their gun or there's a spy plane up, we can see them too. And if you look at the mini-map now, you'll see where all my buddies are, the little blue ones, and the enemies are the red dots. You tend to know enemies aren't going to be where your blue guys are, and enemies are going to be where your blue guys aren't. Sounds a bit obvious, but that's the way it is. Now if someone's got a suppressor on the gun, when they fire they're not going to appear on the mini-map either. But that's kind of how you think about how you're moving around the map. I'm looking at the mini-map. So we're going from cover to cover, peeking around.
Tango removed.
Just practicing shooting enemies, hopefully. The further away the enemy is, if you're using your assault rifle, you need to sort of burst fire. If you get your sniper rifle out, you can hit them in the head. Ooh, two at once there. He appears KIA. And all this is just all about practice. So my cruise missiles appeared, so we can press right on the D-pad. Here it comes. Put the brake on first. Ooh, hey! So we got a couple. So let's jump up here. Hello fella, how are you doing? And in this case I will probably put my sentry turret here. So the first thing I'm going to do is going to put oh, I've got the field mic. Okay, let's imagine that was a trophy system. So that should have been a trophy system, but I had the wrong one selected. Let's put our sentry gun right there. Let's see it in action. How cool is that? How cool is that? And again, so you put your trophy near that, and that will defend it from getting attacked from RPGs and the like. So let's wander back down here so we're away from the action. It's a noisy bloody thing, isn't it? When you're away from the enemies, move fast. When you're getting close to them, move slow. Move slow and you'll make a lot less noise. And then you can listen out and you can hear the enemies when they're there. Now this might sound very, very obvious, but sound in Call of Duty is the most important thing. Because you'll hear people, you know exactly where they are. Go on fellas, go and do something. Okay, we're moving from cover to cover. Okay, so what we're going to do now is, in Domination you have a break, half-time. Now what we're going to talk about is actually Domination tactics. Again, there's nothing wrong with playing against bots to get used to the game mechanics. It really will help you an awful lot. So, the first tactics I think you should always do in Domination is you should always go for the B flag. And we're going to cook a grenade and we're going to throw a grenade when we get there. So let's do that. So we're going to charge right for B. We're going to sprint, we're going to hold, click in the left stick. And when we get to the top of the stairs in this case, we're going to start cooking our grenade just past it. So, right shoulder button, cook, 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 throw a grenade, defend, and the enemies will be running up here. So we just close down that gap there. Okay, so we got Bravos, push forward. Enemies will be running up here. Listen out, where are they coming from? Can I hear? Right, they're on their mini-map, so they're at the bottom, but my friendly bot is dealing with them. Hopefully. If we were dying, and then B got captured, or, you know, got captured by the enemy, what we would do is we would come up and we would peek, and then we would use our grenades again, or we would use our stun. So where's the enemy gun? And the basic way you always attack flags is with a cooked frag grenade or a cooked stun grenade, and it will stun the enemies. You can rush in and you can shoot them. Now, if the B flag has been captured and your home flag has been captured, you can then think about flanking. You know how we talked about moving slightly earlier? So what you would do in this case is you would move up the outside of the map. See in the top, we're moving up the outside from cover to cover. And our aim is to get into a situation where we can kind of so if we look, see where I am, so now I can defend the B flag here as the enemies run from their home flag towards B. I can just defend as they're coming up here, so I could be shooting them like this. Similarly, let's get around to the other side. We could be doing it over this side. We're about to run up bullets. And just put myself in. So let's look at the map, see where I am. So I'm about halfway up the map, but I'm defending the B flag just here as the enemies push up and attempt to take the B flag. Obviously real players are a lot better than these bots, but remember, these bots are just there as practice. And that's really the basics of Domination. If you're in a situation actually where you can't capture the B flag, no matter what, do push past and capture the end of the B flag. That's what you've got to do. But the ideal situation where you will win the most games is where you will have your home flag, you will have the neutral middle flag, and it means the enemies will always be coming from their flag, which means you know which direction they're coming from. If you push too far up actually into the A flag, or the enemy's flag, and don't take it, you could force a spawn flip, and this is where the enemies no longer spawn at this end of the map. and they'll start to spawn at the other end of the map, which means you then do have to capture their flag, and kind of everything turns around. Everything then turns around the other way. But that is the basics of domination. Capture the middle flag and defend it. Work the flanks to defend the middle flag, and if you have to, capture their flag if the B flag is uncatchable. But you'd be surprised if you just followed the kind of rules of using a stun grenade or a cooked frag grenade. You can capture flags, no problem. Right, cool, so that's enough of that. So what we'll do next is I'll actually play a real game, a pre-recorded game, and I will comment over the top of it, and I'll talk to you about what I'm thinking about as I'm playing to give you an idea of what you're doing. But remember, this mode here against bots is really important, because this is where you're going to be practicing. This is where you're going to be bringing up that muscle memory of using things like a sniper rifle in a situation where you can actually get kills without getting blatted by people all the time, and not being able to build up that muscle memory. Right, let's have a look at a real match next. Okay, so we've got Domination on Miami. I quite like this map. Now, so straight off from the get-go, we're going to be going to capture the B flag. I'm going to rely on my teammates to go and capture the A flag, and you'll see me throw a grenade to where I think enemies might be coming from, and then I plonk myself around behind this car as cover, and then I'm looking to the common places where I know enemies are coming from. So a guy comes from there, so we take him out, and then we've got the B flag. So now it's a case of just waiting, defending the B flag, looking left and right, just to make sure that we kind of get that little points advantage. You always want, in Domination, for the enemy team really to be chasing the points, because that means they have to come for you. So what I do now is I push up a little bit on the flanks. Again, you see me just peeking around corners, working those edges, pre-aiming an awful lot. Right, we're losing B now, so let's come and have a look at B, see if I can see anybody. Now we also start to lose our home flag now, the C flag. But I'm just watching. Now I'm working my way back to the C flag now, because I think they may well be spawning. If you look at the minimap, you'll see there's little red dots. And then I'm working my way around now, and listening, pre-aiming this corner, because I know this is where they come from. Just looking, I'm crouching, going round. Right, my teammate kills that guy. Now I throw, do I throw? Yeah, I throw something up here. Right, so someone gets stunned, so I know there's a sniper up there. Again, we kill this guy as he comes down. We still haven't got the C flag, we've only got the B flag. But there's no need to rush, it's early in the game now, so I'm just listening. Listening is the most important thing. So I can hear a guy to my right running up and down. So it sounds like he's coming down the stairs. Two of them come, I get one, the other guy gets me. Now we've reset now. We've got the A flag. My teammates are looking at the B. We're losing B, so what I tend to do, if we're losing B, a lot of the time I'll just throw a grenade straight towards B. So now I'm just scoping out, just checking, see where the enemies are coming from. I know there's something going on down there, but I'm just taking my time. Again, no need to rush along. Let's get the sniper out. Let's check that balcony. On Miami, that balcony, you always get snipers there. So I hear a guy taking on A. I can hear him running around. There he is on the balcony. And there we see the power of the XM4. Honestly, when you're using the XM4 with the Pellington, once you've unlocked Lawbreaker so you can have a sniper rifle, you'll only be using the sniper rifle very, very rarely. You're going to be using the XM4 all the time. So again, I'm just checking that. Now, I'm unfortunately missed that guy, so, you know, he legs it. But I'm just keeping an eye on B. Again, just working those corners, getting the sniper rifle out, so I've got one shot, so I can see a guy there. We get the one-shot kill. The more you play these maps, the more you know where people tend to be, and where they tend to hang around, and then you can pre-aim those places from a distance with your sniper rifle to take them out. So you see, I'm just working the corners. I want to get B back, so this is one of my favourite places to capture B. Now they are all firing at me, so I tuck myself in right behind this car after throwing out my trophy device. So they've got to push me. I'm kind of quite safe where I am, even though this car explodes. There we go, so we're going to capture the B flag. And I can hear a guy come around the corner, so I pop up and kill him. Because from here, you're kind of tucked in. You can see people come from there, from the C flag. And then you're defended from the right by the car. I'm just peeking around the corner. and I'm just, staying on the B flag, defending this B flag, keeping it for us, just again so we can get these points advantage. Now, a big thing that you think about when you're moving around the map should be something called centering. So, right, so somebody's on the flag with me, so I'm going to go and have a look. So I know he's to my left, but I lose him. I don't know where he is. He was actually lying down and I didn't see him. So what centering is your crosshairs are always in the middle of the screen. So as you're moving around the map, you should always be thinking, where is the next enemy going to be? So here I'm just having a look with my sniper rifle. I can see him behind the car and then I get the kill. Bit lucky there. So you're always thinking, where are my crosshairs? And if an enemy appears, will I be aiming at them? And that's what you're doing a lot of the time. You're always prepared so that as soon as you see an enemy, remember, you pull the trigger. So you don't wait till you've aimed down sight. You pull the trigger to fire and aim down sight at the same time, because that way you're hip firing straight away, and then you'll be your accuracy will come when you aim down sight. Also remember that when you're sprinting, unless you've got gung-ho equipped, you're not going to fire anything. You've got to wait. So always slow down where you think there may be enemies, so that you can hit fire straight away. Again, I've gone to my favourite place on the B flag, which is tucked in behind those cars. Again, they're pushing to my left. If you look at the minimap in the top left hand corner, you can see I've got friendlies sort of to my, well, behind me, and I know therefore the enemies have to be coming from the C flag, and they're just coming straight in, so now I can just listen out, have a look around, constantly moving. Right, so there's a guy on the flag with me, so I pre-fire, and then we go to half time and we've got like a 12-point lead. Get the best play, which is nice. So we're going to flip to the other end of the map now, so we're going to spawn at the A end, and this is my favoured end in Miami, and all I'm going to do straight away is I'm just going to push to the B flag to capture the B flag, and you'll see that in just a second. So I'll let my teammates capture A, and I'm going to go for B, to see if we can keep this momentum going. And what you'll see me do is I'll throw a grenade towards the right a little bit, towards the hotel, and one towards the left, that little alleyway that comes from the swimming pool at the back. There goes the first grenade, there goes the stun, and then I tuck myself in. I've got a teammate on. The more people on the flag, the faster you capture it, so we're going to capture this, no problem. Enemies are coming in, just popping up and down, firing at that guy. Firing at that guy. That's the power of the extended magazine. Again, I'm not committing myself. I'm staying behind cover. I'm defending the flag. I'm trying to extend this lead. Someone over there goes around the other side. He's returning fire. Somebody else kills him. Someone's on the flag with me. Back to the B flag, tucked in. Just waiting. Anybody up on the balcony? And it's all about listening now. Just listening out. Where are the enemies? Where could they be pushing from? That guy's go down there. I haven't got a clean shot, so I don't fire. Still can't quite see him. We're starting to get quite a good lead now. Right, they spawn behind me. Nothing much I could do. Well, that guy creeps down. So now what we're going to do is I'm just going to push forward fairly quietly, just looking around, just seeing where the enemies are coming from. Checking that balcony. Always check that balcony so people are there. What I decide to do now is think, right, I'll flank round. We'll go through the car park area into the bar. So then we've got a really good view down to the enemy spawn. Just have a quick look over the bar. There's a great view here. Now this guy here that I killed out, I think he's AFK. He's away from keyboard, so I use the opportunity just to get an easy headshot on him. Bit of sniper practice. There we go. You take them when you can get them. So we're downstairs now. Again, just keeping an eye on the flag. What becomes apparent now is that I think really the other team has given up. And this happens quite... Not quite. It can happen in Domination, because they get to a point where, especially if a couple of their teammates have quit out, that it becomes very difficult for them to get back into the game. So now I decide to change my strategy from defending B to actually harassing them in their home spawn, just to get some kills. So I'm just wandering around and I see a guy up on this balcony there. Now he knows where I am, so as soon as someone knows where you are, you throw in a grenade, you need to reposition. Simply as soon as you fire your gun and you get a kill, you should reposition, because people try and come and get you. So now I'm listening out. Where is he? Where is he? There he is. We get him. So I reposition now, listening out for his teammates. I know they're going to be spawning around here. Somebody throws a grenade. Tuck in. I can hear someone coming down the stairs. There he is. Again, I'm not taking the flag. You know, it's very important. I'm not taking the flag. I want them still to be spawning at this end of the map. Plus, as soon as I start taking the flag, they know where I am. Right, so a teammate starts taking the flag now. So now it's like, okay, well, I might as well get in on the action and get some points. Again, just pre-aiming. Just very careful. Just making sure the edge of the scope is above. Right now, I hear someone to my right now. There they are. So you kind of see how important sound is. Now I earned the sentry turret. We're right at the end of the game. Normally I would get it earlier and I would put it near the B flag, defended by my trophy systems. As it is, I just kind of pop it down. Doesn't get any kills, but you know, that was a pretty easy win. I think I have 16 kills and I get killed myself 3 times. They didn't push us that hard, but hopefully that gives you an idea of, you know, pushing and capturing the B flag, coming off the B flag when you can to kind of get a little bit of a flank on, to get a bit of an angle, taking your time with the game. And there we go. So that has been my beginner's guide to multiplayer in Black Ops Cold War. Stick with Domination, do the practice against the bots, set up the class I kind of showed you with an assault rifle and the Pennington sniper rifle, and you'll have an awful lot of fun. Look out for more Black Ops practice videos and drills and guides and all that sort of stuff coming soon. Put your questions and comments down below. If you like the video, hit the like button. If you want to see more of the same, press subscribe, and I'll see you again soon.